What's good, everybody? It's your boy Anonymous, the author, aka Anonymous Rap Guy, and I am back with another Ohio BBW interview. Today, we have the very dope, the very kind, the very beautiful Miss Sweetest Peaches. Thank you for coming on today, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Definitely. Oh, I see you got a little visitor in the background.
Oh, sorry, let her out.
No, you're fine.
Cool. I'll keep her out now.
You're fine. So, cat, are you a cat lady, or just that was she a special case?
Oh no, I'm a cat lady.
Are
I
you?
have two cats. Yeah, I love them. I love them a lot.
Are you been a cat lady your whole life, or are you just recently?
Yeah. So I grew up with cats. Like we not like in a weird way. We didn't have like 27 cats.
Gotcha.
But I've never sort of lived without a cat. My mum always had cats, and like it feels weird if I don't have one now. So
Gotcha.
I've got two.
Gotcha. Good luck charms, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks for coming on. When you announced the interview on your channel, you got a bunch of questions, so we're definitely going to jump into that a little later in the interview. But I figure just starting off, we would just let our fans get to know you, let the people get a little more familiar with you. So, Miss Sweetest Peaches, you are currently a model, an adult model. Can you just expand a little bit on who you are and what you're into?
Yeah, so I mainly do my stuff on OnlyFans. I don't really have any other. I have Sizable, but OnlyFans is like where I sort of post everything.
Okay.
I started doing that just over a year ago now.
No joke.
I started it because at the time I was so low on money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just I was like I was out of a job, it was COVID, and I just needed something.
Absolutely.
And I was sort of desperate. So I thought, I've heard these people have, there's fat fetishes and things like this. And I was like, maybe I can make some money here, even if it's just $500,
Right.
But it turned out to be sort of really good for me, not just financially, but also mentally. Like before I started the OnlyFans, I had a really horrible sort of self-image.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? I really struggled with how big I am. I really struggled with my weight and felt kind of worthless. But when I started the OnlyFans, that just turned around because I had so many people complimenting me and following me, and it just felt great. So I thought, this is actually really good. And I'll continue doing it, and I still enjoy it.
Absolutely. So you've always been have you always been a curvier woman, or?
Yeah, I've always been big ever since I was younger. I've obviously got bigger as the years went on. But I was always big, even as a child. I don't think I'll ever be skinny.
No, I feel you.
I don't think it would suit me.
I definitely feel you. Yeah, I ain't missing no meals over here, so I definitely I know what you mean. So what made you get farther into, like, I see, because on your page you list yourself as a feedee. What got you into that? Was it like as soon as you started the OnlyFans you got into that lifestyle, or what made you get into that?
Yeah, it was so it was the OnlyFans that got me into that, really.
Okay.
I don't know if I put myself on there that I'm a feedee because I make the content. I make the feedee content.
Right.
I think personally I would probably list myself more as a foodie. I enjoy eating. I like food.
Right.
But I don't do it purely to gain weight.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And I know a lot of other girls and sex workers do the same thing as me, that they like food, but it's not there just to gain weight. I think, if you're using food as a tool just to gain weight, you lose the enjoyment of it.
Absolutely.
It's not fun anymore. And I enjoy cooking. I enjoy trying new recipes.
Cool.
And trying new takeouts and different cuisines and cultures and things like this. And I like to eat a lot of food. So, if that's what my fans enjoy, I'll do it for them,
Yeah, most definitely. So I gotta ask this question because I'm a foodie myself. So what are your top 3 favorite meals? Like, you could eat them any day of the week, any time of day.
Do you know what? What is it called? I think it's brown stew. Or
what's that?
It's Jamaican. It's like, I think it's brown stew or chicken stew or something with rice and peas.
Okay.
And a Jamaican patty.
Oh, okay.
So good. I could eat it any day of the week. It's so good.
Gotcha.
Classic British dish, sausage and mash, or we call it bangers and mash.
Yeah.
So with onion gravy and some sort of vegetable like broccoli or peas. So good. And also another British classic, is the roast dinner, the Sunday dinner. So
Oh, okay, okay.
some sort of meat. You
Mm.
got your Yorkshire puddings. You've
Mm.
got all your veg, your
Mm.
gravy. Oh, just you're getting me hungry.
Oh, I
Just
say you're
thinking about
taking me there. It
it.
sounds good. You're taking me there. I'm like, I might have to. So out of
I
the
think you need to come to England and try it.
most definitely, it is definitely a plan. I love the culture. I definitely love.
Yeah.
Not to say that Bridgerton is the culture, but I definitely watch a lot of like BBC shows, and definitely I'm
Yeah.
fascinated with like I want to experience it firsthand. Like I want to be there. I want to be among the people. I want to talk and like actually get familiar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're a pretty cool people, I'd say. You know, there are a lot of differences between us and the US, but also there's a lot of similarities as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just funny. I just think British culture is quite funny, isn't it? And people obviously have this stereotype that we're all from London and we all know
No.
the thing. That's definitely not the case.
Absolutely no. That's
no.
What like I guess what area are you in over there in the UK? Are you on like the coast? Are you in the middle? Like where?
Yeah,
Just
so
vague.
I'm actually I'm right down south.
Okay.
And I'm right next to the coast.
Okay.
So it's not far from London. I could hop on a train now and get there in about an hour and a half. But yeah, I've got the sort of accent that everyone knows
Yeah.
with England,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I'm from the posh part, some people would say.
What's that?
Yeah.
Break that down for me.
I think the further north you go, the rougher people think it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But you know, if someone from England is watching that and they live in the north, I'm really sorry if I just offended you, because I don't believe that. But I think it's just the way we speak and the close you are to London. It's kind of, yeah. I mean, I live in a place called Kent. That's the county.
Okay.
So there's a lot of places in the county, but I would say Kent's people think it's quite a posh area. It's quite rural.
Really?
It's quite expensive to live here. Unfortunately for me, it's really expensive to live here.
Oh, really? No joke. Jeez.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Is it just the area?
Well, I think it's the area. Obviously, I live right next to the coast. People love that.
Of course.
People want to be in sort of the countryside, but close enough to a place where there's like civilization.
Yeah. Close to a city, but living in rural, but close to a city is kind of.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, you can hop on a train here and get to London in, well, possibly under an hour on the fast train.
No joke.
So people who work in London, because it's so extortionate to live in London, will just move down here, pay a lower price, and just get on the train every day to work.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
It drives the prices up for the rest of us, unfortunately.
So that's really interesting. So I've heard this about London all the time, is that you're this is getting away from the BBW stuff. Now I'm just curious about London.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. So is your public transportation like really robust? Like, do you feel like, do you own a car? Like, do you have your own transportation, or do you rely on public transportation?
I unfortunately don't drive. I failed my driving test when I was 19.
Oh, really?
And just never did it again.
Okay,
and I'm not even sure right now that I could fit behind a wheel.
Oh, no joke.
So there's that. Mostly I rely on cars and taxis. Like, I'll either get someone to give me a lift or I'll get a taxi somewhere. Okay. We don't have Uber in my town, unfortunately. That would be so much easier.
Right.
But we do have pretty good public transport, like buses are good, and trains. I know the trains in America, I think you use them far less than we do.
Yeah,
like,
they're terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Public transportation here in the US sucks.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got the buses that run every 15-20 minutes in like dense areas, and then if you space out, you got a bus coming every like 1 or 2 hours. And even then, you know, they stop running after a certain time, or the buses in general are terrible, and they don't get you to all the areas that you want to go. So
I think it depends where you are in the UK. Like in my town, I know that they normally come every 15 minutes, the buses. But on a Sunday they'll come once an hour because it's Sunday.
Right.
But I know in London, like the buses are running 24 hours, you know,
really?
7 days a week. So
Jeez.
yeah, they just keep going and don't stop. So
dang, that must be nice. That? Yeah, I think I know for a fact here, I think it's like, I haven't ridden a bus in forever, but I think it's like 12 to 6 or 1 to 6, like a 5 or 6 hour period when there's just no buses, and then they'll start up again, the next day. But yeah, public transportation here, there's no real train system here. Like you get trains to, like, say, major spots, but there's not like a, hey, I want to go to Columbus, let's just, you know what I mean? It's a little frustrating.
Oh yeah, see, you wouldn't find a place most towns have a train station.
Yeah.
In the UK, and we have such a big network of trains. I think that's part of, going back into history. I think it was, when did they? It might have been the Victorians. It could have been. It was probably before that. Actually, I don't know my history very well, but the trains became such a huge part of life because they would, like, transport coal and things like this for people to be able to keep warm. And it became a way of life here that if you're going somewhere, you get a train. Because I think in America, if you're going somewhere, you can get a plane because it's so big. You just go to the airport. But here, it's not big enough for that. I think the only one we do is either if you go to Ireland or if you go up to Scotland from down here. I don't think there's any other plane routes that people take in the UK apart from to go abroad. So
that's really interesting.
I think there's a big difference there because we're a smaller island than you. So we rely more on the trains.
It's got to be beneficial. Like, I would love to have a train system here. But getting off topic, let's go back.
Yeah, sorry.
We're just having a conversation about travel now. Now I'm like, yeah, I do need to visit you guys. So I'm actually just going to jump straight into the Q&A because I know your fans will be furious at me if we don't at least cover some of those questions. Let's see here. We have a question from the Lost Clavicle. That's a pretty funny name. What's it like being an SSBBW in the UK? How fat friendly do you find the places?
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's not good. It's not good, to be honest. The UK and generally most of Europe is very fatphobic.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah. It's seen as a bad thing if you're bigger, especially someone as big as me. You don't see a lot of people as big as me in the UK.
So that's not completely normal in the US. Yeah, we grow big over here, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's just not here. It's strange. So it's like I'm always the biggest person in the room. I'm always very conscious of the fact that I'm the biggest person there. If I'm waiting in, I don't know, for example, a doctor's surgery, I'm always the biggest person. It's hard because then there's things like seats are not made for big people over here. I've broken multiple chairs in restaurants.
Really? I have as well. I have as well in the US. I don't want to limit that to just the UK. Seating sucks in public places, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
At least it's not just me then. It's things like, and chairs with like arms on it.
Yeah.
Can never fit my butt in them. I recently had, well, not recently, it was last year, had an experience with someone I'd gone to. There's a police guard coming by. Hang on. It gets really loud because I'm on a main road.
I gotcha.
Oh, it's an ambulance. It's fine. Okay. So last year I had an experience where I was making a custom for a customer, and he wanted me to eat donuts. So I was like, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to go to Tesco's, one of our big shops here, and I'm going to go get me a big thing of Krispy Kremes, the 12, the dozen boxes.
Absolutely, I know. Yeah, I love Krispy Kremes. I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah. So I went and got some, and I was sitting outside waiting for my cab home. And obviously I was sitting there, I'm a fat girl, and I'm holding a tray of donuts. And this guy just walked past and just went, Jesus fucking Christ, like that. And it was horrible because I knew he was talking about me, and I wanted to say something back to him, but I was in that much shock that because the British people were quite passive aggressive. We don't normally say anything.
I gotcha.
So I was shocked that he'd actually said something, and I wanted to call back to him like, look who's talking, or something like that.
I gotcha.
And I came home and cried because I was like, that it just felt so belittling that this person has seen me and made a snap judgment that I'm a bane on society. I get that a lot, actually.
Do you
because
really?
because have you heard of the NHS?
No.
National Health Service. So we get free healthcare here.
Yes, yes.
And we pay for it in our taxes,
Oh yeah,
basically.
yeah, of course, of course. Now I'm familiar with we just call it
Yeah.
universal healthcare, but yeah, NHS. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just called National Health Service here. So what people assume is they look at me and they go, that person is a drain on the NHS. That person is using all my taxes, all of my personal taxes that I pay to drain the NHS. When in actual fact, I barely use the doctor. I don't go to the doctor because they're fatphobic as well. It's not worth it.
Right.
They just tell you the wrong thing.
Right.
I also pay my taxes, so I'm also paying for the National Health Service.
Of course.
And people just think, like, because I'm fat, all I do is use all of the country's resources, when generally I don't take benefits. I don't take like state handouts or anything like. I think that's, I can't remember what you call it, welfare maybe.
Yeah, that's what. The US version is welfare.
Yeah, so I don't take any of that. I've taken that once in my life, and that's because I was out of a job and it was COVID.
I got
you. You know,
right. And even people look.
People just.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just saying they just make that snapshot judgment just from one look. Just one look at you. It's horrible.
Yeah. Here, I will say, first of all, let me get some things out the way. There's a lot of what you said that I want to unpack. First of all, in the U.S., as far as I'm concerned, or people in general, people are stupid. They suck. Like, here, you'll always get, like, off-the-hand comments. If you ever go to New York, you kind of just have to be ready to snap back at people because they just like to talk crap to you. So it is how it is.
Yeah.
Here, and I'm in Ohio, hence the name of the page. Usually people here are pretty chill. Like, every so often you'll get like a jerk or somebody who's, loud and wants to argue with you. But for the most part, we're pretty level-headed. But I have also, you run into your occasional idiot that has something to say because of, something you're wearing or something you're doing. So I don't want you to, I just don't want you to think personally that was a reflection of society. Some people are just idiots and they make horrible, idiotic comments. And secondly, your accent's gorgeous, and you are a gorgeous woman in general. So definitely, thank you. I just want to say that. But yeah, I'm sorry that you have to experience, especially feeling like the society that you're in is fatphobic. I mean, the world in general, I do believe is fatphobic. I definitely would agree with you on that. But I definitely, I guess this would lead into another question. Do you have any groups or area other than the OnlyFans that you feel comfortable in, or like meetup groups or anything that you can, like, hey guys, I've had a rough week, let's meet up, I just want to talk to some people and get some things off my chest, and
so sort of. Okay. I've got a group of friends, and we sort of met up through Instagram.
Okay.
There's a couple from the US, a couple, one from Sweden, one from New Zealand. There's a few people in there, and we all just, because we're all in the same line of work and we all have the same issues with being bigger, like, we're all a mix of sizes, don't get me wrong, but it is good to have them there. Then I consider them like some of my best friends now,
right?
Because we talk daily, we chat daily about our problems and things. We can't exactly meet up. We're hoping to next year, so that we're hoping to have a little holiday in the UK, but we can't meet up right now, but we can vent to each other on our group chat. So it's really nice to have that support, actually. And just be able to share our problems, because we all understand them, basically, because we're all big and we all do the same work.
For sure. For sure.
So it's really nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
Do you travel a lot, like outside of the UK?
If I travel, it's normally to Europe, because that's just where I go on holiday. Like, usually Spain. I like Spain.
Okay, cool.
For the weather, really. I would like to visit America. I would like to come and try all the food and see all the places and like do it all, really. And also, I've got a few friends over there. I'd love to visit them. And yeah, just generally get a feel for the place, especially because a lot of my customers are from America. But other than that, I don't really have any other sort of, I'm not a big travel person, I'd say. And traveling for me is so stressful at this size as well. Because like walking through an airport, it's just a no. It's a no for me.
There's a plus size model here. I want to say her name is Kelly Belly, Ohio. and she
Yes.
has a whole breakdown of like the best ways to travel. I don't know if that's like specific to the U.S. I don't know how varied the travel system is, but I don't know if reach out to her or
I've
something like that.
seen her.
Have you?
Yeah, I think
Mm.
she does really well with that,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like super helpful to her see all her
yeah,
tips.
for sure.
Yeah, there's a few people as on TikTok as well. There is one plus size girl who is on TikTok. She's actually from the UK as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good to see her sort of experience with that also from sort of our end of things.
For sure.
Yeah, she had a question once. Sorry to get off topic,
No, you're
but
fine.
she had a question once that someone like asked her, "Oh, but what about the person in the seat next to you? Like, do you not think it's inconsiderate of you not to buy an extra seat because you're so big?" And it's like, first, her response was exactly what I would say, is that as a big person, you are constantly aware of how big you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are constantly trying to make yourself smaller
Right.
in order to make the person next to you feel more comfortable. That shouldn't have to happen.
Right.
That shouldn't be a thing we have to do. But I don't know if this is a British thing or if this is universal, but I know everyone I know who's bigger in Britain does the same thing. Like we will try and like squeeze together like that and try and like make ourselves smaller just to make sure we're not inconveniencing the other person next to us.
Wow.
And it's not okay. That shouldn't have to happen.
Not at all. You should be able to be your natural you and not have to feel like you have to contort or conform to what society wants you to be like. That's terrible. So when you travel, do you often travel alone, or do you have someone like to like at least make the situation easier for you?
If I'm traveling, it's because I'm going on holiday.
Oh, okay.
Or vacation. I think you guys
No, I know what you mean.
So I'm usually with someone, with a friend or family or something like that.
Good.
I won't travel on my own really. I don't enjoy it. It's just from an anxiety point of view.
I got you.
If I have to travel, I'll be like, can someone come with me?
Absolutely.
Just because I don't like it.
No, I feel you. Yeah, every time I travel, whenever I travel with someone who I feel like is going to be, nervous or self-conscious, you definitely put the extra sauce on it to make them feel like, they're more comfortable. So like always lead and always saying, hey, you sit here, you do this, you do that. I'll take care of, A, B, and C. So I'm glad you got somebody to travel with. So before I start getting ahead of myself, let me continue on to the next question. So up next, we kind of talked about this already, but I'll go ahead and ask it. How about No asks, when did you discover that BBW SSBBW scene? What were your thoughts? You kind of said a year ago after COVID hit, but if you want to expand, feel free.
So I first I sort of knew the scene because I had Phoebe for a little while. When I first started sort of dating, I was like 18. I got Plenty of Fish and Tinder and whatever.
You guys have Plenty of Fish. That's hilarious.
Oh, don't judge me.
No. We have it here. It's just I was on there for a little bit. I was like, oh, this is a little sleazy. Like it was definitely a hookup. Like kind of over here anyway. It was definitely a hookup website. Like, oh, okay, that's what this is about.
Over here, Plenty of Fish is like just the shit version of Tinder. People are like, if you have Plenty of Fish, people are like, oh, you're a weirdo. Like
I got you.
So but this is when I was first on the scene, 18, whatever. And I was like, oh, make sure I put body shots on there so they can see I'm fat. I did the classic thing. And then I sort of got with this one dude. Not got with him, but like I was chatting with him.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And he ghosted me. Then he came back into my life. Ghosted me again.
Classic guy move. I got you.
He did it twice. I was like, I'm such a mug. But before he ghosted me the second time, he did say you should sign up for Phoebe, because it's a place for big people. So I did, and that's sort of where I sort of realised that there is a demand for this kind of thing. At that point, I was still at the self-hating stage. I was still at the like, oh, I'm not good enough kind of thing. So I didn't really take it seriously. And then I started chatting to another dude, and he was the one who made me sort of feel really good about myself.
That's awesome.
Nothing happened with him again, like it didn't work out. But it was while I was chatting with him that I started the OnlyFans, and from there on, that's when I sort of realized how far into the BBW sort of fetish or lifestyle, I don't know what you want to call it. I didn't realize sort of how many different parts there are to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just thought if you like fat girls, you like fat girls.
Right.
You know, but there's different
subsets and subcategories.
There's like levels.
Yeah.
Categories. You're right. Yeah.
I got you.
So, but that's sort of where I sort of realised how far into it you can go, and what kind of different content you can make as a creator.
Right.
So
you've definitely blown up. Like, your fans love you. Like, you definitely have a loyal, like, whenever you post something, your fans are like all over it. Like, so yeah, you definitely.
I love my fans a lot. Like, a lot of them on Instagram, I get a lot of like nasty messages. You know, right. not nasty, like dirty messages. I mean.
Oh, okay, okay. Kinky kind of stuff. I got what you mean.
And I'm a bit like. I'm like, that's okay, but only if you're subscribed.
Right.
So those ones I don't respond to. Anyone who sends me pictures of their tool, I report and block immediately. So
of course. I say be respectful. There's a time and place for that. Like, say, if you're subscribed, then hey, we can lead down that way.
You're subscribed, we can work it out. But
right. Yeah, not just a random penis shot.
I don't want no dick pics on my Instagram. No, thank you. But my fans on OnlyFans, I've had a lot of people who are still subscribed from day one. And I love chatting to people. I like talking to people, getting to know what they like, getting to know about their lives. And honestly, I'm so grateful for my sort of #1 supporters who talk to me every day. And especially recently, where I've had to take some time off, I haven't been focusing as much on my OnlyFans. They've sort of stuck with me through it,
awesome.
And I'm so grateful for that. I really am, and I really don't take my fans for granted at all. Like, I don't want to get to the point where I'm cocky and I'm just like, oh, I've got this many followers on Instagram, I'm untouchable, because I know I'm not, and I know that I've worked hard for this.
Absolutely.
And put the effort into it, and I appreciate every single person who's clicked follow. Honestly, I really do.
Wow, you should change your name with a humble as Peaches, man. You are definitely like very level-headed.
I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like overly humble, but I really am.
That's awesome.
It's hard out there. It's hard, and I at the same time, like, girls who just start as well, I really want to help them. Like, if they come to me and they ask for help, I really will help them. I've literally got a list of like tips, because people have asked before. I've got it on my notes to send out. Awesome. And things like this, you know, because I just want to see other girls succeed in this as well, and feel as happy and confident as I do now.
Wow, that's awesome. You're damn near humanitarian, man. That's awesome. You really
I try.
So I'm going to hit you with one more question before we get out of here. We're definitely going to have you back. You have a great energy about you. Like, once again,
thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Let's see. We kind of touched on a couple of these questions. Like I said, us just talking, we've touched on a lot of these questions. I guess the last question, this will be, like I say, mental health question. What motivates you, or rather, what makes you happy?
Don't really know.
That's a deep philosophical one. Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Money is a big thing, I have to say, but it's not just that. It's genuinely just having something to do as well. It's a vocation, isn't it? Doing what I do. Some days you just don't want to get up and put makeup on. Like, I haven't put makeup on for the last like 2 weeks.
Really? Do you have makeup on now? Do you have makeup on now?
Yeah, I've got makeup on now.
I was about to say, you are glowing. I was about to say, if you don't, then girl, you are killing it. But you are glowing right now. Okay.
If I didn't have it, you'd know if I didn't have it on.
Okay.
No, but it's yeah, what makes me happy? I don't know. I like having something to do. I like when I post and people enjoy it. It really makes me happy when someone messages me like, that video was really good, those photos are really sexy. I'm like, oh, thank you. That it does mean a lot to me. I know that can sound a bit shallow, like, oh, I just want people to tell me I'm pretty. No. But like, I genuinely do enjoy it.
No,
So,
no, I definitely understand. Definitely getting feedback from your fellow man, I'll put in quotes, is definitely
yeah.
something that you know you're doing the right thing. So in a sense, how long would you want to stay in this like the SSBW adult work kind of life, or would you want to transition into an influencer or transition into anything else, or are you like I'm happy with what I'm doing for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I'm happy with what I'm doing. I haven't. That is a question that's crossed my mind. Like, when am I going to get out of this?
Hmm.
Um,
Not even
and
get out,
I
but
just,
maybe add on to like, would you want to ever be an
yeah,
influencer?
possibly.
Okay.
I don't really know.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'd take it further.
Hmm.
Like, I've got a day job as well.
Okay.
Well, not a day job. I work in the evenings, but
I know.
um, I don't know whether I would want to take it further. You know, it's definitely a possibility. I wouldn't, if I had an opportunity like that, I don't think I'd say no.
Hmm.
But I don't know if it's something that right now I'm working towards, because at the moment I'm happy with
Absolutely.
what I'm doing, you
100%.
know, and it's enough for me and it pays the bills basically.
For sure.
So I don't know. You know, it could go either way at this time.
I got you. I got you. Well, Miss Peaches, this little thing is about to kick me off of here in about a minute,
Oh,
so we'll wrap up the interview. But once again, love the conversation that we had. Love how open and honest you were. So I just want to say, for me and on behalf of Ohio BBW Network, thank you so much for coming on. And if there's anything I can do, you seem to have a bunch of resources yourself. But if there's anything that I can do, feel free to reach out to me. If you ever want to come back on, if you ever want to talk, feel free to hit me up.
oh, thank you. No, I've really enjoyed being here today, actually, and just having a general chat. It's been nice.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you everybody for watching the show. We appreciate you. Be kind, be dope, but more importantly than anything else, be yourself, and we will catch you next time. Peace.